Hi, I'm Gary. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today I'm looking at the brand new WW2 German Field Kitchen set in 1/35th scale from ICM. This set combines the field cooker element from last year's Gulaschkanone set with 4 newly designed figures. If you enjoy the show, then you can support the channel for free by subscribing. Hit the bell to be notified of all my new content, and anything you like, please give it the imperial thumbs up on the like button below because every like counts. Let's make a start. So here we have the Feldküche, the World War II German Field Kitchen with some cooks. The product code is 35618 because it's a 1/35th scale kit. A very nice piece of box art there depicting what the field kitchen would look like in reality with a very jovial looking chef, I have to say. Must have been in the early part of the war. On the side here, this long side is a little panel, and it says the kit contains 88 parts for the assembly of the field kitchen itself and 61 parts for the assembly of 4 figures. And on the other long side, there's the field kitchen itself and the 4 figures as previously mentioned. Let's have a look and see what we get inside the box. As is usual for ICM, the lid, this shiny printed glossy outer, is a cover for the actual box, and sometimes it is a bit of a devil to get out. There we go. Inside we find a very sturdy cardboard box protecting the parts, and the box has a flip top lid. Inside we have a packet full of plastic parts. We have the instructions sheet in here, and I'm sure tucked away somewhere in the instructions will be a decal sheet as well. And there is also the advert for ICM's range of water-based acrylic paints here with a complete colour chart on the back and details of all of their sets that are available and the primers as well and the thinner. I've used these paints. I think they are really, really good. So you might consider using those. Let's have a look at all the rest of the stuff in the box in a bit more detail. Frame A consists of the staff, the actual cooks and the assistants and all the rest of it. So these are all the figures for the kit, plus a few accessories are on frame A. This is frame G1. This contains the field cooker, the big boiling pot and all the prep and stuff like that, wheels, suspension and things like that. Also listed as frame G1 on the instructions and also here on this tab. These are just bits from the frame that are too big to put in directly. As you can see that they would have sat like that. They get cut off, so this would go into a box. These are just the chassis rails and the leaf springs for the field kitchen. Then we have 2 frames G2. These contain things like flour sacks, containers, water containers, wooden boxes, and so on and so forth. All the supplies for the kitchen. So if we look at some of this plastic close up, this is the chef, presumably, with the chef's apron on. Bits and pieces of these floppy hats. Have a look at the, see if it will focus on the face for me. There we go. Happy looking chefy chap. Very nice. The faces on these ICM figures are really generally very, very good. Detail is lovely, like the hanging ring at the bottom of the sharpening steel there in the knife. Very good. The sausages there, different shapes, which is good because they're not all the same shapes. Anyway, yep, all these other figures are very, very nicely done. The mold line, there are mold lines. Obviously, there are mold lines. There are going to be, but you know what? They're very small, and you could easily scrape those off with a scalpel blade, or if you've got a very fine sanding stick, very thin sanding stick. Then you could get rid of those without too much trouble. The wood blocks are textured, so that should help painting the bark. Obviously there's chunks of wood down here as well that have also been chopped up. The bark is on them. This is the top of a sack of potatoes, and there's a figure there of the poor chap who's been delegated to peel all the spuds. There's a little knife there, and there's a potato in his hand. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. Likewise, the plastic parts of the field kitchen itself are very nicely moulded, very cleanly moulded. Doesn't appear to be any flash anywhere that I can see. The wheel's nice with the spokes and the central mounting for the spokes. Going to be a bit of a challenge getting these off, but I guess, you know, it's not too bad. There are ways around that. Yeah, all these parts. Well, very nicely moulded. I mean, this is a relatively new kit, so, you know, all the bits are going to be well made. It's not been overused, these molds. So, yeah, very good, very clean. Should make a nice field kitchen cooker. The decal sheet here is large parts of bits and pieces of notifications. A lot of these are things that go onto subsidiary things like these that go onto the bags of flour. There's little things saying drinking water here, and so on. These go on, presumably, information panels that go on the actual cooker itself, and of course, its registration plates. Close up, we can see there are some limits to what you can actually print on instructions. This is a 0.5mm pencil lead as usual, and you can see the instructions here are pretty unreadable, but I guess there would be. This is 1/35, and these are going to be very small panels with a lot of information on. It kind of just gives you a feel for what's there, which is fine. The other panels here, I guess it's a temperature, maybe even pressure, but certainly a temperature gauge and a few other bits and pieces. These little lettering here is all very clear. It's sharp and it's clear, for this scale at least. I think it's perfectly good. Here the German eagles are very clear. What I do like is that obviously it should have a swastika in the middle, and they put these three sort of parallel bars in. From a distance, they're going to look absolutely fine. You don't have to have most swastikas. Of course, in some countries you can't. And here you have drinking water, and hit Fleisch for the meat, packaged meat boxes that are included. So they're crisp, they're sharp. I think they're very good. The instructions are fairly straightforward. There's a frame map for the figures and for the kitchen itself. There's color callouts here in ICM's colors. These, and you can go online to the ICM website and translate these into all sorts of different other manufacturers. And there's some very basic icons here because there really isn't much of this build to be done, frankly. The field kitchen itself takes up most of the instructions here. And of course, there's all these supply parts and cans, jerry cans, bucket, boxes of goods, some bags and things like that. Here there's a brief sort of look at what colours you can use it, and there's 2 colour markings for the field kitchen itself, and there are relevant options here for the jerry cans as well, and of course all of the boxes and other tins and buckets and whatever. On the back are the instructions as such as they are for the figures. I find these slightly confusing sometimes, only because the numbers in black here just point to bits. So A27 is the torso here, A35 is this arm, A33 is this arm. It would be nicer if they were a bit more cleanly drawn and plainly drawn, so it's a bit more obvious. And then the red things here give you color callouts for various things. But you know what? They just show you how they all go together. If you gather together the pieces, they do go together like that very straightforwardly, so you know roughly where they should go, and then the pieces will actually go together very well that way. Okay, that's the instruction sheet. There it is, basis for a quite unusual diorama, I'm sure, especially combined with other vehicles or figures. If you've enjoyed the show, please remember to subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll be notified of all my new content as it appears. And anything you like, please give it the imperial thumbs up on the like button below. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.